Hey everybody, I got a video here for you, and I was just telling somebody recently my to-do list is now bare, thank goodness, but I just remembered I do have one more thing I wanted to talk about. And we are flying down to ancient Luxor, very ancient Thebes, and this is what it looks like today. We have some of the most famous temples in Egypt, but what I want to talk about was found in this area here. And I have made videos on the tomb of Osiris. It seems there was one up at Giza, just in front of the middle pyramid. And I also talked about the one down at very ancient Abydos. But were they building symbolic tombs of Osiris all up and down the Nile? Do we have evidence of any other very, very ancient structure that really can't be explained by the dynastic Egyptians? That has been confused as far as the history goes? Yes. We do have one down at Luxor, and it was found in this area here, and I'm just going to go over to a website. Now, I will leave the link for this website below. It says that EVA 2015 was marked by one of the biggest archaeological discoveries of the decade, the discovery of what is believed to be the tomb of Osiris, the Egyptian god of the dead. And here is the entrance across the river from Luxor in this necropolis of this entrance to this place. And when I first saw that, I thought it looked remarkably like the entrance to the Osiris shaft at Giza. Thought that should be pointed out. And here is what they found. An entranceway, and seems to be some maybe more modern building around this, on top of this, and then shafts that descended way down below the ground. These vertical shafts are what we see at Giza, and this is reminiscent of other places below those unfinished pyramids. And down below they found what they say is a burial chamber, and this looks nothing like the dynastic Egyptians' work. They had colorful artwork and symbols and hieroglyphs all over their tombs. Here we just have it cut into the ground, and it appears a lot like the Serapeum. And if you notice here, we have one glyph carved into the back of this tomb. We do have something here, and this appears to be one of the most ancient glyphs coming from what became the Egyptians right here. It appears to be the rising sun in between two things here. And I did this video a while ago. It seems we have maybe one original symbol on the Great Pyramid from the original builders, and it seems to be the rising of the sun between two objects. And I will leave the link below. But this is all up for speculation, and people said this is the oldest glyph coming from the Egyptians, and it appears to be engraved in the Great Pyramid, and that is all up for speculation. But where this is located, near the entranceway, in these massive blocks, this had to come from the original builders. But as I said, serious speculation there. But I do see a resemblance to what is shown here. But this is all a big mystery. And just quickly going back to this here, I can't help notice the resemblance to the layout of the three pyramids of Giza. It seems there is a space here, a space even with it here, and then an offset space on the left. Am I seeing the layout of the Giza pyramids? And if the sun is rising between that, of course, ancient Anubis was in front of the middle pyramid, gazing directly at the sun. Those are things that just pop into my mind. Thought I would mention that. It says the find was fully complete reproduction of the Osiris tomb from the Egyptian mythology and included multiple chambers and carvings of Osiris at the center of the complex. The architecture of the tomb is said to be quite exquisite and complex, and the burial chamber of the god of the dead is believed to be at the very bottom. It is connected to the main complex by numerous tunnels, corridors, and staircases. It sounds like a stunning find. However, it is hard to imagine that it's going to be open to the public anytime soon. And it says, however, the main mystery of the discovery isn't the opening date but the alleged conspiracy. The finds described above are only the bare bones of what was discovered in the tomb. The truth is, we actually don't know the full story of what was found at the site. For instance, the details of what was inside the sarcophagus at the bottom haven't been released to the public. Neither were the hieroglyphs on the columns inside the complex. We don't know why this information isn't available to the public at large, but several theories have been put forward. We also don't know whether the site is an actual legendary site of Osiris's burial or a reproduction. It says on this website the tomb was found in Abydos, one of the oldest cities in Egypt, in the necropolis of Sheikh Abdul Qarn, which contains the largest concentration of private tombs in the Theban necropolis. And it's not Abydos, it's Luxor. This is wrong. But it says this is where all the highest-ranking officials, priests, and nobility were buried during the New Kingdom of Egypt, a period of history that spanned the 16th century BC right up to the 11th century BC, ruled by the 18th, 19th, and 20th dynasties of Egypt. As part of the tomb was discovered by Philip Very back in 1887, but it was never described or published. So a team of Spanish and Italian archaeologists set out to excavate its many chambers. From what they have discovered so far, the report that the tomb has been modeled on the descriptions of the enormous tomb of Osiris, an important component of the ancient Egyptian legend. And it says, according to April Holloway at Ancient Origins, the archaeologists believe the tomb dates back to either the 25th dynasty of Egypt, and that's roughly, say, 2,750 years ago, or the 26th dynasty. Based on the comparison to similar tombs that contains Osirian elements, the most famous example is the tomb of Osiris, called the Osirian, built into Seti's own funeral complex. In the Osirian, there is no shafts and tunnels and tombs that I know about down in Abydos, except at that tomb of Osiris that I pointed out that they assigned to Senroset of the 12th dynasty. But I will leave these websites below. But I just thought this was very interesting. This resembles what is found beneath some of those mystery structures, and this to me appears to be very ancient. Has anything been brought forward about this discovery in the last few years? I will leave that up to my subscribers. If they know anything more about this, want to comment on this. This appears to be pre-Egyptian. Doesn't resemble tombs coming from the dynastic Egyptians. Hope you thought that was cool, and you all have a very nice day.